What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Denver Nuggets. Of course, as you guys know, this is my Bulls report. So, tonight's game, of course, it was the Bulls' first game back after a few days off. And playing a game versus the Denver Nuggets, you know who to look out for, right? You know who to look out for. Jokic, you look out for Murray, you look out for Michael Porter Jr. And Zach did play tonight, which was good. DeMar was out there. Andre Drummond was out there. So the Bulls relatively had a lineup to go against the Nuggets. No Kobe White again. But again, the Bulls did have a plethora of players to, use versus the Nuggets tonight. So the Bulls start off the game with a turnover. Now, I didn't think nothing of the turnover at first, but then I had to think about the games leading up to this one tonight and how unforced errors have been their Achilles heel a lot in games. So they start off with a turnover. The Nuggets do come down and get a layup by Michael Porter Jr. And this basically was the start of the end. But I'll get into that later. Ball movement and man movement was going on early, but defense, 3-point defense, especially versus Michael Porter Jr. tonight, was a problem. No matter who was on Porter Jr., he was getting his shots up early and getting them up often and hitting them early and hitting them often. But the Bulls I feel like their perimeter defense is still lacking. When you have athletes like DeMar DeRozan, who's not the best defender, but you have Ayo, and you also have Zach LaVine. These guys are athletes. You should be able to play defense at some type of high level. You can't afford to play teams of this caliber and give up open threes, give up slashes to the rim, give up drives to the rim. And this is game after game after game. This is happening. This is not nothing new now. We're closing in on close to 20 games into the season. The Bulls are now, in my opinion, creating bad habits. Bad habits. And these are the ones that stick with you throughout the season. I don't know if Zoe is coming back this year. Honestly, I don't think they should rush him back this season. Because if he comes back and he does play and he re-injures himself, then what? The guys that are there should be able to fill the holes. Yes, we know Zoe is a big part defensively. But the guys that's out on the floor should be able to do something. Like, do something. And tonight just showed what they lacked at. Bad turnovers in defense early. That's just what was going on in the first quarter. The Bulls were down 12 at one point in the first. And the Nuggets shot the ball extremely well. Extremely well in that first quarter. You had Michael Porter Jr. hitting his shots when he was open, driving. You had Jamal Murray hitting his shots. Jokic was all night long while Jokic was in the game, was like a quarterback. I mean, picking the Bulls apart, passing, getting guys open. Guys are cutting and he's hitting guys back door. And it looks sad at times. I mean, the Bulls looked out of place on defense. They didn't have an answer for Joker. And Joker wasn't even scoring tonight. That was the thing. He was facilitating the entire game. Like an orchestra. When you got the guy up there and he's just telling everybody where to go. Yes, him. That was Jokic all night versus the Bulls. So I honestly was watching the game and I'm like, well, what is Billy going to do? Is he going to try to, get guys to press up more on Joker? But it didn't matter. Vucevic had no answers for him. Switches. Listen, when we already know what's going to happen when Jokic get a smaller guy on him, take him down to the paint, do a couple moves, and he's going to score. The Bulls had no answer for him at all. Even the second unit, Javonte Green barely played tonight. I don't know what was the reason for that. Dragic did get some minutes. Jones Jr. did get some minutes. But ultimately, the second unit from Chicago didn't play their best basketball tonight. The team didn't play their best basketball tonight. This showing, after a few days off, showed it looked exactly like that. You had a few days off. You did not look your best. You looked like you came out lethargic. You came out laxed on a Sunday night game against a team that is arguably vetting for a Western Conference Finals appearance, if you ask me. The Nuggets could be there at the end of the season. So the Bulls ultimately not playing the best version of themselves in the second quarter. The Bulls are down 12. So in the second quarter, it's 32-20. In a quarter, again, like I said, that first quarter should have been forgotten. The Bulls' second unit, they tried. Like I said, they tried. They cut the lead down to 8 as they got as close as 8. But then they give up. Like I said, they gave up back doors. One good bright spot about tonight, Pat Williams was aggressive. I like that from him. When Patrick Williams is aggressive, that's something that the Bulls can look forward to in better games. He has to figure a way to get his points. And I say that because they're not going to come in the form of them running. Billy Donovan is not going to run too many plays for him. He has to figure out, okay, I have to rebound more efficiently. I have to run the floor in transition. And maybe I can pick my spots here and there. I feel like he has to be a better 3 and defensive guy, right? I feel like that can be somewhere where he excels. But again, Bulls, they get the lead as close. I remember they get the lead as close as 4. But in the first half, the Bulls give up 62 points on 60% shooting and find themselves down double digits at the half. Now, in the third, the Bulls do come out with a 3 by Vucevic, but Michael Porter Jr. was absolutely torching from 3. I mean, it was at one time, I believe he was somewhere along the lines of 6 of 8 from 3, I believe. It was somewhere, it was a wild number, but he was absolutely cooking tonight. I mean, absolutely, it was, I love the way he shoots the ball. I love the way Michael Porter shoots the ball. So to see him, even though it was against my team, to see him shoot that ball the way he did tonight was beautiful. To see guys put in that work was a beautiful thing to see. So tonight was just all around, to say a final grade on this game, I would give this game a F- by Chicago. They didn't play well at all, in my opinion. It came time where they was arguing about calls, where calls should have been called. They could have went either way, and the referees wasn't given the benefit of the whistle. So, of course, technicals get thrown around. But the Bulls just defensively tonight didn't have it. Offensively, they didn't have it. It just was an all-around poor performance by the Bulls. And again, like I said, after having a few days off, you don't get the luxury to be, I guess, ramped up a game before, or, for a game like this, you get some days off and guys are a little lax. They're home. You know, you get to spend time with the family and things like that. And tonight just wasn't their night. Speaking from a stat standpoint, you know, I'll speak on what the Bulls were able to do. So Zach LaVine did have 21 points tonight, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Patrick Williams did have 15. Ayo Dosunmu did have 7, 4 and 2. DeMar DeRozan had 16, 4 and 2. And I feel like on games like this, like last season, we seen DeMar raise his game ever so slightly nightly. I didn't mean to rhyme, but ever so slightly every game, he was raising it to another level. That's why he was in the conversation for MVP. That's why, I say it like this. It's 2 things that happened last year that put teams on notice about Chicago this year. DeMar DeRozan is good, and the Bulls collectively can go out and beat pretty much anybody. See, last season, when the league got a taste of what the Bulls were capable of last year, it caught a lot of teams by surprise. So this year, teams they're not going in with the idea of the Bulls might be a pushover. No, teams are going in the idea where we're going to play Chicago and we're going to ramp it up. And you saw that tonight with the Nuggets. Like I said, you want to see more, especially guys like Vucevic. Let me tell you, right, what I don't like about Vucevic. And, well, I'm not going to say Vucevic per se. What I don't like about the plays that are being run for Vucevic. He should have double-digit paint touches every single half. There is no reason why he had 9 points and 6 rebounds tonight. The Bulls coaching staff and players have to do a better job of getting him the ball. There's no way around it. He's an all-star caliber player. Yes, he went up against Vucevic. But at the same time, Vucevic is capable of putting up 20 and 10 nightly in his sleep. The Bulls have to do better. Luckily, they are off Monday and Tuesday and face the Pelicans Wednesday. I'm hoping that's a better outing than this evening's game. So we will see how things turn out. I'll be here watching. Let me know what you guys think about the game tonight. Let me know what you guys think about what the Bulls need to do better. Do they need to switch some things up as far as the lineup? Do they need to play? One more thing. I like what I see when Zach is out there with guys from the second unit. When he's out there with Dragic and Caruso and Green and Jones and sprinkling some Drummond. I like that because it gives him a chance to be more offensively aggressive when DeMar isn't out there. You know, sometimes they do a little your turn, my turn. I like to see more flow. I like to see the defense be more ramped up. You know, facing teams of this caliber, that puts you on notice. Being a 6-8 team, that should let you know exactly where you're at. You know, the Bulls would be, I believe, on the outside looking in if the play-in tournament started today. So, I mean, it's still early, but you don't want to continue on these bad habits. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.